Standing up here before all of you is without a doubt one of the most incredible moments I've ever had in Rotary. To see all of you, so many people, my brothers and sisters of Rotary, from so many nations, gathered here in New Orleans under the flag of Rotary, it is simply amazing. And to have the call to serve as the first among equals in this great organization in the coming Rotary year is also a truly humbling experience. Some time back, we had a phone call from our granddaughter, Tia, who lives in Australia and whom you met just a little while ago. Every week, she and her friends have to tell in school about what is going on at home with their families. Well, apparently, when it came to her turn to share the family update some time back, Tia put up her hand and said, "My grandpa is going to be the president of the world." Strangely enough, her teacher had a hard time believing that. She said, "He's going to be what?" And little Tia absolutely insisted. She said, "He's going to be the president of the world. I know because my mummy told me so." Well, Tia's teacher phoned up the mother, and after being explained what had happened, peace and calm returned. But today, whenever little Tia meets up with me, she can't resist saying with a mischievously sweet smile, "Hello, President of the world." You know, coming into this assignment of Rotary right now, I can tell you that our President Ray, our own Rotary cowboy, he is going to be a tough act to follow. But today, at least, I have got the advantage, I think, because if there is anything bigger, better, and bolder than a cowboy, it is a cowboy and an Indian together. Thank you. And here in New Orleans, we have got a lot of history, and even a lot of Rotary history as well. As I was preparing my remarks for this afternoon, I had a look at the convention proceedings of the last RI convention to be held here in 1976, when Ernesto Embassy de Mello of Brazil was the president of Rotary, and Gerald Ford was president of America, which was celebrating its bicentennial. President Ford, who himself was a Rotarian, was to have come and address the convention. But at the last moment, he had to drop out and had to be replaced by another speaker who quoted a valedictory speech given by a young lady at a Mississippi high school who had said, "The trouble in America today is not so much the noise of the bad as it is the silence of the good." Well, speaking from a perspective of 34 years down the line, and also of a somewhat different culture to that of the young lady at that high school, I would agree that there is a problem. But I would not call it a problem that is peculiar to the United States alone. It is true, really, all around the world that we hear much more about what is wrong with the world than about what is right. We notice much more the people who don't care than the people who do, of the people who create trouble rather than the people who get things right. But here in New Orleans today, we have abundant evidence that there are people who do care, people who are doing what is right, people who are doing good. And let me tell you, the good that you are doing in this world of ours is making a difference. Let me ask you, if I may, why are we here today? Indeed, why are we all in Rotary? I believe we are here because we care. and because we see both what's wrong in the world and what's right. And we want to carry forward what's doing good, build on it, expand on it, help it grow, while taking a hard look at what needs to be changed in our lives and then doing what we can to change them. Because at its core, I think Rotary is about change. It's about not being content with things as they are. It's about not going gently into that good night. A man named David Selborne, a British social commentator and historian, once wrote a little book called Moral Evasion. And in it, he listed 11 reasons why people avoid making moral judgments, why they avoid looking at something and saying, this is not right, and we must do something about it. Now that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Let me recount a few of those reasons. There is no quick fix. There is nothing you can do about it. The problem is much more complex than you think. You are focusing on the wrong issue. It has never been any different. And of course, the perennial, who are you to talk? Well, who indeed are we to talk? Who are we? We are Rotarians. We are the doers of our communities, the leaders, the ones who are most involved, who see the problems and have the means to find solutions. As our strategic plan so elegantly and aptly defines it, we are a worldwide network of inspired individuals who translate their passions into relevant social causes to change lives in communities. I am fond of quoting Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "You must be the change that you wish to see in the world." I believe we are in Rotary to change the world. For why else would we be Rotarians? And let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, that change, any real change, has to come from us, starting from within us, from inside each one of us. Because if what we want is a world with more kindness, more caring, more joy, and more love, well, if we want all of those things in our world, we have to put them there. Where do we find those things, you ask? Well, I believe we will find them by looking within our own selves. That's where the search begins. In order to achieve anything in this world, a person has to use all the resources he or she can draw on. And the questions we need to ask ourselves are, why am I here? Why are you here? I believe it is because we all seek a sense of fulfillment in our lives. And to achieve that fulfillment, we have to find harmony between our inner self and our outer self. The inner dimensions are our desires, our will, our spirit. And our outer dimension is the action we take and the image that we create. And that is why I'm asking you to reach within and unleash your inner power, and then use it to embrace everything and everyone around you. Go ahead. Go ahead. First, reach within yourself, and then move on confidently, firmly towards the targets that you have set for yourselves. Discover yourself, develop the strengths within you, and then unhesitatingly, unflinchingly go forth and encircle the world to embrace humanity. And that, my brothers and sisters in Rotary, is going to be our theme for the coming year. Reach within to embrace humanity. How we do this will vary from club to club, culture to culture, country to country. Each of you knows best what your own community needs. But together, around the world, we Rotarians will be guided by three emphases: the family, continuity, and by change. Our first emphasis will be the family. It is our first emphasis because the family is the beginning, the starting point for everything we are trying to accomplish. The family is the building block of the community, and as the family goes, so goes the nation. If we wish to see a world that is more joyous, we first have to make sure that the families of the world are more joyous, that they have the things that they need to be happy, to thrive, and to move forward. So we have to look at housing, at clean water, at sanitation, at health care, at all the issues affecting mothers and children. For there to be a strong family, there must first be a strong and safe home. Only then can there be health and hope and harmony within its walls. Indeed, a home is where the family begins. Back in the year 2001, the state of Gujarat in India, where I come from, had a terrible earthquake measuring 7.2 on the Richter scale. It occurred on the morning of the 26th of January, the day India celebrates its Republic Day, and at a time when the children are usually at their schools participating in ceremonial flag hoisting and march pasts. Well, the severity of the quake destroyed many towns and killed thousands, many of them school children attending the morning ceremonies. One day later, I rushed there from Mumbai, 1,100 kilometers away, and visited Anjar, one of the towns worst hit. And as I sat there with the shaken Rotarians, all of them fortunately alive and safe, working out how best we could help people rebuild their homes, in walked a lady, perhaps about 65 years of age, carrying a small cloth bundle, and said, "I hear you Rotarians are planning to build our homes. Well, I have here some money. Please use it if you can." We opened her bundle and counted out 120,000 rupees. That's about $2,500, and thanked her for it. She just said, "Use it up, and I'll try and give you more." 4 months later, we had the shelters ready, 200 of them, built with all the money we had put together. Indeed, much help poured in from Rotary clubs in Japan, today sadly damaged and recovering from its own quake and tsunami disaster, from the United States of America, and also from Italy and other parts of the world.